what's up, Skydivers? In my last video, when I did review the CURV container, you guys did have a lot of questions. How is it done exactly inside of the container? How does it fit on me? And also, what are my other comparative with other manufacturers out there? So stay tuned because we'll go over everything in this video. Hello again, Skydivers. My name is Catherine Bernier and I'm here to share the passion of skydiving and helping you become better and safer skydivers. So if you're new here, consider subscribing not to miss our weekly videos. Alright, so I wanted to do this quick video to answer your questions from that video. And actually this video was kind of a rundown of all the features that the CURV container is offering compared to other brands in the market. So I found it very interesting for me to share that with you. But then you had more questions about how is it done exactly inside the container. You wanted to see actually the fit on my own body, and also I had some question about, well, that's fine, you say it's the most comfortable rig out there, but what is your experience in other custom containers from other manufacturers? So I'd like to start to say that, to be truthfully transparent with you, this is the first ever custom made container that I've had in my life. So I must say that it's not a big comparative with other brands out there, although I'd like to actually do this comparison for you guys. So I'll try to find a container from another manufacturer that could actually fit me so that I can better compare that for you. But I must say that just in terms of design and the engineering behind all the small elements they've developed, I must say that the CURV container have some improved and very well thought features that I value a lot from my opinion. And actually I chose them because of those specific features that I felt it would be the best fit for free flying, what I'm doing, and also the comfort out there from the recommendations of other users as well. So of course, being the most comfortable container out there is relative to what you're looking for, and I want to be fully transparent with you. Now let's see how the CURV container really fit on my body. Let's go. So one of the big features of the CURV container really is the back pad design, which is actually the shape of the container in your back. So you see it follows the back more than just being straight. That allows for better comfort, but also the fit on your body, which helps to keep it on your back, whatever position you're flying. You may have noticed as well about the fit on my body that it doesn't look that big on me, although I have a Sabre 2 150 as a main canopy and I have a PDR 143. So that means that I have big canopies in there and it doesn't look that big for a container for 150 canopies. And just so you know, for those canopy sizes, the reserve and the main being 143 and 150, this is what they call the VC3 size. You have also noticed one of their specific feature that I personally love the most is their bio yoke right there, where you can see that my shoulders are resting on that extra yoke and I'm not feeling the actual pressure of the risers on my shoulders because they don't actually touch it. So that's pretty interesting and that improves the comfort. With all those different features like the bio yoke and the back pad design, well, the weight of the container feels a lot less than its actual weight. So that helps me to be productive all day and not feeling the weight of my container every time I put it on. So that's something that I like as well. On a side note, I must say that when it's time for you to use a container, you want to try it on first. As an example, the CURV container has great design features that improves the comfort, but due to all that, it also has a smaller length. So it means that it actually ends pretty up in my back compared to some other containers in the market. So this could be one of the reasons why a container might not fit for you. If you can't comfortably reach the handle, that could be an issue. So that's why you want to try them on first. I've met some people that the CURV is just not a good fit for them, but that applies to other container manufacturers as well. So that was a quick overview. If you want more in-depth details of all the features that the CURV container has, you can watch it by clicking right here. But now we'll jump into the container to see how it's done inside. So let's start with the riser covers, and those are magnetic riser covers here. So once we open them up, of course, we have our main canopy risers and the reserve canopy risers right there. And what I like about that, and I'm gonna show it to you a bit later, is that they have a cover that covers the risers to protect them, to avoid having anything sticking out of the container. So that's very well thought. Then if we check underneath the reserve flap here, and by the way, this one has a Mojo Mard, which is their Mard system. So we open the flap here. There's two tuck tabs, and that's the reserve pin that is protected right here. And so the pin is there, that's the rigger seal, and the closing loop right there. So that's a pretty usual setup for a reserve. And what I like is when you close everything, well, premature openings are almost impossible with the tuck tabs right there, and the fact that the reserve flap goes in here. Really, for free flying, there's no way for anything to stick out. And of course, I don't want to open everything because I don't want to pay a repack. Next, let's dive into the main container, and then I'll be able to show you a little bit more stuff. So let's dive into the main container. So if I open it up here, you see that it's a little bit different than what we're used to see, and that's a special design for the CURV container. You can get more info by watching the previous video I made, but basically the goal is to have the tabs laying side by side instead of on top of the other to reduce the size of the container. So if we remove the pin right there, we then open the main canopy. So what you see here is the main deployment bed, and you see that there's pull on it. All right, so if we open that up, we see that the main here it's the main closing loop, and that's the reserve container right there. And here what you can notice is that the CURV container has closed corners right there. And that is great for having a well enclosed container. If we go on the side, what's interesting about that container is, as I talked about the magnetic covers, if we open the side here, you see that there's a second tab right there to really cover the risers right there. So as I'm packing, I'm making sure that the risers are placed properly here, which is not on top of the other, but side by side, again, to make sure that it takes less space. And once they are placed here, I close this tab, and then I'm making sure that nothing could actually go out of there. And then I have right there the magnetic covers, the riser covers. So that's really a well enclosed container. Great, so I hope you've learned something new in this video. Lastly, if you've been considering in buying your own CURV container, well, act before the end of the year, because right now there's a promotion where Rigging Innovations is giving you a Mojo Mard for free whenever you order your CURV container before December 31st, 2019. So act fast, make sure to follow the links down in the description to get more info and see how you can order yours. I can also help in the process. And on that, if you want to watch the full review video I did on the CURV container, simply click here. For another video from Skydive Vibes, click here. And on that, keep jumping, stay safe, and blue skies.